Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute fantastic pleasure and honour to be able to speak to you this evening. And obviously, it's my first Ironman event, so I am a newbie. And how nervous is Rafi at the back, knowing that he recommended they bring me here, and it's his head everyone's going to want if I'm right. So sorry, Rafi. I'll try and live up to it. So my name's Danny Crates. I was a former Paralympic athlete. I had the great honour to represent Great Britain for 12 years. And during that 12-year period, I went to 3 Paralympic Games, 3 World Championships, and numerous others along the way. But I'm going to start by making you a promise. I'm not going to stand here and talk to you about running. It's truly not that exciting. And I don't have many stories of me and the Kenyan endurance squad getting up to mischief. But what I will do is concentrate on a period of my life that I think is more important. That's from the age of 21, where I was involved in a car crash, until I really felt my life was back on track. And yes, it would be remiss of me not to talk about what it's like to represent Great Britain at some of the biggest sporting events, and what it was like to work on what I believe was the greatest sporting event in London 2012. Now, we often hear a lot about, you know, the relationship between sports people and business, and how we're very, very well aligned. And a lot of it comes down to the mindset, really. The fact that sports people are prepared to take risks. We're always prepared to step outside our comfort zone. We're pushing ourselves every single day. We're trying to change things just to make tiny little adjustments to our performance. But also the fact that when things don't quite go according to plan, we don't see that as failure. We see that as an opportunity to learn something and move on. The way I look at it, in my athletics career, I had to lose a lot of races to be able to win the big race. And that's the mindset that we have in sport, and that's why it does align so well with business. In business, we've got to be prepared to step outside our comfort zone, we've got to be prepared to push ourselves, but we've also got to be prepared to take the knockbacks as well, because if it was easy, right, everyone would be doing it. So hopefully, we know all this, we've heard it before, but hopefully what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into real life for you and make it more so it's more of a takeaway, and you can actually put it into your lives. Whilst I'll also be talking about a bit of my journey, because I have a belief in life, and I believe that life does not put hurdles in front of us that we cannot handle. I believe everything in life happens for a reason, but sometimes when you hit one of life's hurdles, it does sting. I was 21 years old, I was travelling in Australia, and I was involved in a car crash, and the result was I actually lost my arm in the accident. I was transferred to the local hospital where they stabilised me, and then moved on to the major injuries hospital where the surgeons finished, I guess, what I just started. After a short period in hospital and a period of rehabilitation in Australia, I was ready for my journey back to the UK. But on returning to the UK, I decided straight away, immediately, I was not going to give up on life. I was going to get back out there and give life a go. For this, I chose what I like to call the Jack Daniels Road to Rehabilitation. Now, being very conscientious business people that you are, I know you don't have a clue what I'm on about. But this wasn't about drowning my sorrows. This was about being 21, and this was about having something traumatic happen to me in my life. And I found the easiest way to deal with that was to go out and socialise with my friends. And yes, I found out a little bit of Jack Daniels goes quite a long way. Maybe a lot of Jack Daniels goes quite a long way. But having finished that period of my life, I decided it was truly time for me to put my life back on track. Now for this, I chose, always has been, always will be, my true love, my true passion, and that is sport. And I chose what is my true love, rugby. I went back to my local rugby club, which was Thurrock in Essex. I do apologise. I always feel like you have to apologise for coming from Essex. If you apologise, you may get liked and forgiven. You might even get trusted. But I went back to the club, not initially to start playing again, but just to get back out on the park, enjoy being part of the team again, and really to get fit. And this I did, but it soon became apparent that training would never be enough. You see, before my accident, I played representative rugby, and I played for Essex and the Eastern Counties of England. And I had the dreams and the aspirations that maybe one day I could be a professional player, or even bigger, wear the white shirt of England. Now, I believe you can do anything you put your mind to in life, but sometimes you've got to be realistic. And let's face it, chances for a guy with one arm to run out against the All Blacks, it's never going to happen. So for me, it was now about just getting my sport back on track and getting back out on the park. So the date was set for my first game back. It was full contact, able-bodied, 15-a-side rugby. It was planned for my club, and it was only 1 year post-accident. So 1 year after losing my arm, I was back out on the field playing contact rugby. This clip you're going to see, fingers crossed, it's technology, is that very, very first clip, just 1 year after losing my arm.
5 minutes to the kick-off of a match that he's been thinking about for months, and the tension's beginning to show. He needn't have worried. 4 minutes into the game, and the perfect way to settle those nerves. That was one hurdle out of the way, but what about that first tackle? No problem. Thurrock fourths, studded with ex-first teamers, gave their opponents from Gravesend a runaround. And let's face it, would you have wanted to be the Gravesend right winger yesterday? Now Danny couldn't score a hat-trick in his first game back after 2 years out of the game. Could he? He even got to take the conversion. Well, you can't have everything.
So that was it, the start of my new rugby career, no longer with the dreams and the aspirations of playing for England, but just truly enjoying being back in the sport that I loved. And I played week in, week out for many years after, I still occasionally play to this day. But I believe that was probably the most important step I ever took on my road to recovery, because that was the moment I realised traumatic things can and will happen to us in our lives, but it doesn't stop us from having dreams and aspirations. It doesn't stop us from doing the things we truly, truly love.